Hello everybody and welcome back to StrangeVoodooTV's weekly wrap-up and pick'em show where we have decided to take on the AAF. So anyway, I'm Buddy Strange and this is StrangeVoodooTV. So let's just get into this week of AAF football. Oh man, I was so excited. Barely contained myself and it proved me right. It was a really good weekend of football and I really enjoyed it for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed the AAF as well. It just felt right. It felt like football again, like the football I grew up watching. The hits were great. Pace of the game was perfect. I don't know. And then the new additions of like being able to hear what the head refs are talking about during a challenge and during a call. That's awesome. And another thing I want to add on to that one is I like it because I might not agree with the referee, but at least I know where their head's at and what they're thinking and why they're thinking it. It's just another layer of transparency, or I guess a taking out of a layer to bring in transparency to a game that needs it, especially with the NFL no calls and stuff like that. So I'm actually really enjoying that part of it too. And another thing that I thought I wouldn't like would be the kickoffs, not having kickoffs, to be more exact. And you know what, I found myself not even thinking about it during the game and not caring much about it anyway. And I mean, it's not that bad actually not having it, although I am glad that they kept punts, so there is a return factor of sorts still within the game, so returners are useful in some way and you still have that element of special teams that can be exciting. And you know, punts are more exciting usually than a kickoff because kickers usually can get a touchback, but punts, you know, someone gets their hands on it, or in the case of some of the AAF games, get their hands on it and then lose it in a way. But you know, I'm glad that they kept punts for sure. But that being said, let's get into our win of the week and loss of the week. The win of the week was the Orlando Apollos. Just dominated Atlanta. They didn't start off doing that. Atlanta actually had a good little momentum push right at the beginning, but then Orlando and Spurrier took over the game. That defense was just suffocating, and that offense was high-flying. Love that trick play. Love that trick play. You might see it later. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, no, that was an awesome trick play. And then Garrett Gilbert was actually performing really, really well. And, I mean, they look like a really exciting team. They're definitely going to be competing late in the season. I can already see it. Barring a Josh McDaniels, Norv Turner type collapse, they should be fine. They looked pretty damn good. And, I mean, it's just the first game. You don't know if the Atlanta Legends are just that bad or the Orlando Apollos are just that good. I would bet on the latter, though. I think the Apollos are they're pretty good rather than the Legends being that bad. But that brings me to the loss of the week, which is the Memphis Express. Oh, my Memphis Express getting shut out. Oh, man, that hurts. Whew. Anyway, no, they got shut out. They just couldn't get tempo on offense. And, I mean, never been a strong suit for Singletary when in his head coaching experience, which is not that much anyway. Like in San Francisco, his offenses, even with Alex Smith, Vernon Davis, Frank Gore, weren't fantastic. And that wasn't because they were bad. It's because the schemes weren't fit for them and they weren't able to get momentum and tempo correct. And yeah, he's a defensive guy for sure, and their defense did actually pretty good against the Iron for the most part, outside of letting a blind man run for 2 touchdowns, which is kind of embarrassing too. Anyway, no, Trent Richardson, he did well, and the Memphis Express overall did not, in a 26-0 loss. Ouch. We'll get them next. Hey, a 9-1 record ain't that bad. We'll see if that holds up in the pick'em. Players of the week, SVTV's Players of the Week. First off, Offensive Player of the Week is going to be John Walford of the Arizona Hotshots. I was really debating between him, Garrett Gilbert, like Jalen Marshall, but no, John Walford, 4 touchdowns, very impressive performance, 275 yards, I believe, and like 132 or so quarterback rating. He was just off the charts, the best quarterback. I would just say barely over Garrett Gilbert and Perez actually as well. He was one of the other. He did really well as well from a performance standpoint. But no, John Walford was just barely over Garrett Gilbert for me. It was a toss-up. I almost put them both in there, but no, John Walford gets it for his performance. Very good job by John Walford. Makes me scared for this upcoming week. I'll tell you that right now. And Defensive Player of the Week is going to be Terrence Garvin of the Orlando Apollos. 2 picks, 1 pick 6, just dominating performance, racked up the tackles, just did a really good job. I had a feeling of his presence the whole game. It seemed like he was always around the ball in some form or fashion, whether he had it or he was tackling the guy who had it. I mean, he was he was a big reason why that defense was as suffocating and bogifying, if that's even a word, as it was. So good job to Terrence Garvin getting the first SVTV AAF Defensive Player of the Week. Alright, first ever Special Teams Player of the Week for the AAF is going to be Young Ho. Not Wei, not Young Wei Q, it's Young Ho Q, as in cool, man. Anyway, he is on the Atlanta Legends, and fun fact, trivia fact for, 20 years from now, wherever this league is, whether it's disbanded or it's one of the biggest leagues in sports history, I don't think that could be said after 20 years, but anyway, no. Wherever this league is in 20 years, cool trivia fact that you can tell your kids or impress the ladies with, and then after you impress the ladies, you make some kids, and then you tell them that Young Ho Q scored the first points in the AAF. That's pretty cool. And he, another trivia fact, gets SVTV's first Special Teams Player of the Week. Maybe you can impress some young hoes with that one. Anyway, that's pretty cool. No, what is cool are the plays of the week. Yes, there's going to be 2. Because I was just too excited about both of these plays to not include one of them and then include the other. So both of them are in. Enjoy SVTV's plays of the week.
1-on-1, picks up the first down. Volkovici never saw the man coming, and he is lit up. My goodness. And it's a handoff to Akeem Hunt, a reverse. Marshall throwing it back, and it's caught for the touchdown.
Alright, a really quick recap, because I don't have to go over much for these games. I went 0 for 4. I predicted all road teams for whatever reason. I don't know. I just like the road teams this week. And none of them won. And that leads into the next cool fact about the AAF. No road victories yet. As told by my pick'em record, which is 0 for 4, which is fun. Anyway, alright, let's get into week 2. Let's pick these games and see who I think will win. Alright, first off, Salt Lake City versus Birmingham. Birmingham with a pretty damn solid performance in this past game, defeating Memphis 26-0 with, oh, ouch. Anyway, in this one, I'm going to call Birmingham over Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City, who lost to Arizona pretty convincingly as well. No, I think Birmingham gets this one. I think their defense is going to stop Salt Lake City as well. I don't believe in the Salt Lake City quarterbacks enough to think they can be better than what Memphis put out there. And then on top of that, I think the running game, which would be the fallback option, the main option for them, I think Birmingham and their defense can stop that and then make them one-dimensional. And then I don't think the passing game can make up that difference. I think Birmingham wins 26-17 over Salt Lake City. All right, and then the game that I mean, I'm going to be excited to watch, but I may not like it while it's going on. Arizona versus Memphis. Arizona, oh, they just look good. John Walford looks good. That offense looks good. The defense looks pretty solid for the most part. They look like they have a couple flaws that maybe Memphis could exploit, but overall I think Arizona is a pretty solid team. They were like picked to win it all before the season even started. They were #1 in the power rankings or whatever on CBS.com, and they backed it up, that's for sure. They look pretty good, and I think they get the first road win in the AAF. I think Arizona wins over my Memphis Express 31-20. I think Arizona gets it. Hashtag all aboard the depression train. But no, I think Arizona gets this one, but hey, an 8-2 record isn't that bad at the end of the season. It'll be the greatest comeback in AAF history when a team goes 0-2 and then finishes 8-2 and, you know, goes far into the playoffs and gets the championship. I think Memphis gets beat in this one. All right, Orlando versus San Antonio. Orlando looks really good. San Antonio kept it close. They won over the Fleet, but it was a pretty close game. It was the closest game of the AAF first week, that's for sure. But no, Orlando I think they're too complete of a team. Their defense looked phenomenal. Their offense was moving the ball and scoring. They had some tricks up their sleeve, which was awesome to see in the first week. It was especially awesome. First play of the game, it wasn't a complete pass, but it was a bomb downfield, and I was like, yes, this is what is going to make this league great. Coaches that are willing to take chances. And another thing that I forgot to mention, but I was going to mention in the beginning, the hits. I said hits, but I didn't add on no flags. Are you kidding me? Some of those hits in the NFL, it would have been a death sentence for you. You would have been suspended indefinitely. I mean, helmets flying, no flags flying though, and that was awesome. You had more helmets flying than flags flying on Saturday and Sunday, and you know what? That's what makes good football. And guess what? Not that many injuries. Huh. Interesting. That's because when you play hard football, both teams are playing hard football, playing full speed, full strength. You're not going to have as many injuries like in the NFL when one's going full hard, all in, all go, and then one's going half because they're scared they'll get a penalty on them or, something, so they don't go as hard. When you have someone going full hard and someone going half chub, you're gonna, that guy who's going half speed, he's gonna get killed, injured, like that. Burkovici, bless his heart. he got up after that hit, gathered his head off the turf, and he went back to playing football. So I love this league. It's an awesome league. I don't know where I was going with that, but I do know where I'm going with Orlando winning 34-14 over San Antonio to give AAF the next road victory in its history. All right, lastly, Atlanta versus San Diego. Atlanta looked poor. They looked like they didn't know what they were doing on offense. Matt Sims was just getting killed the whole game. That line looked pretty bad. Just like Memphis, they couldn't get a tempo. They got more of a tempo than Memphis, but they barely got a tempo all game. They weren't able to set any sort of pattern or balance because Matt Sims would just get torn up the whole game, and then when they tried to run, boom, just not many yards at all. Orlando's defense was definitely on top of it, and then just pick after pick after pick didn't help either. And then on the other side, San Diego kind of kept it close with San Antonio there for a little bit, but wasn't able to pull it out in the end. That being said, I think San Diego at home might be a little different, and then Atlanta having to travel across the whole United States to be San Diego, I think that definitely plays into it as well. And then Atlanta, although Atlanta will have another week of coaching under their belt, because if you didn't know, Brad Childress was supposed to be the head coach and he quit on him a month ago. And then like 2 weeks ago or so, Michael Vick, who was supposed to be the offensive coordinator, who I still thought was the offensive coordinator, I didn't hear that he stepped down. He actually stepped to another role. He's like a player operations guy or something like that for the Atlanta Legends. But anyway, he's supposed to be the offensive coordinator and he stepped down from that role. And that's not good when your coaching staff completely changes a couple weeks before your first game. So that definitely was not an advantage, and that's probably why they lost so bad. So I think they will compete better in this game, but I still think they lose to San Diego. I think San Diego wins 21-17 over Atlanta in this one. I think Atlanta's is a little better. They perform a little better, but overall I don't think they win. Alright everybody, that is going to do it for us here today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, there's some scheduling things that I have to get around. I'm going to try to get a gaming video out either Monday or Tuesday, but it might have to be Wednesday, Thursday. I would love to at least do it on Wednesday if I can't do it Monday or Tuesday, but that's just a little heads up. Don't worry about it. Everything is fine. fine. You will be getting a gaming video at some point in the next week. But yeah, that being said, I hope you have a great day and a great week. And as always, I'm Buddy Strange. This is StrangeVoodooTV. Keep it strange, people. I'll see you in the next one, and peace out.